Have you ever really stopped to wonder about humanity's place in the universe? Well, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating text that lays out a whole framework, 8 key relationships that it says connect us to what it calls the greatest creator. We're going to take a deep dive into this very unique worldview.
I mean, that's the big one, right? And the text we're looking at today tries to answer that exact question. It lays out a complete, totally self-contained cosmology. So let's jump right in and see how it breaks everything down.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to tackle this in 4 parts. First, we'll look at our place in the cosmos, according to this text. Then, we'll get into the world of conflict it describes. After that, we'll unpack this unbreakable law of cause and effect. And finally, we'll figure out how it says we can actually tune in to the Creator. Okay, first up, our place in the cosmos. According to this text, it's not like we're just floating around randomly. No, there's a very clear hierarchy, a whole structure that defines exactly where humanity fits into the grand design. So at the very, very top, you've got the greatest creator. And the text is super clear about this. This is not some being in our image. It's a formless, ultimate source that created everything, including the gods. And get this, it's those gods, not the creator itself, that humanity is modeled after. Now, what's really fascinating here is how the text frames all this. It's not some cold corporate org chart. It's a cosmic family. The greatest creator is kind of like a distant, loving grandfather. The gods are our fathers, and the demons, well, they're our uncles. And humanity, we're the kids, right at the bottom of this whole family tree. And this idea of indirect creation is absolutely key to understanding this worldview. The father gods were the ones who did the actual work of bringing humanity into existence. And they didn't do it all at once. It happened in a series of distinct waves. And, this is where the text makes some very specific and frankly controversial claims. It describes these separate creation events for different racial groups, and it assigns each one a totally unique origin within this cosmic framework. We're presenting it here exactly as it appears in the source material we're examining. Okay, now let's get into the core conflict that, according to this text, pretty much defines our existence. This is its explanation for why our world is always in a state of struggle, why nothing's ever perfect. So I want you to imagine a cosmic tug-of-war, right? And humanity is the rope stuck in the middle. The text says our reality is defined by this constant battle between 2 opposing gods who are perfectly evenly matched. That means neither one can ever really win, which makes this tension a permanent, fundamental feature of our world. And here you can really see the 2 sides of that tug-of-war. You've got the God of light, who it identifies as Jesus, pulling us toward things like truth and spiritual freedom. But then you have the God of darkness, using these incredibly powerful lures, money, power, status, to distract us and keep us totally wrapped up in the material world. And the story of Adam and Eve? It's presented as the perfect case study of this cosmic sabotage. You have one God who creates and warns them, but the other God immediately swoops in to interfere. And just like that, humanity is caught right in the middle, forced to make a choice that's going to define everything. So, if we're caught in this divine battle, where's the all-powerful greatest creator in all this? Well, according to the text, the creator doesn't pick sides. Nope. Instead, it governs through these absolute, totally unbreakable laws of cause and effect. And this is absolutely crucial. Despite this cosmic war raging around us, humans are not helpless puppets. The text hammers this point home. We have 100% free will. The choice of which path to follow and our ultimate destiny is entirely in our own hands. This simple little parable from the text just perfectly demonstrates how this law is supposed to work. See, it's not about some divine judgment or mercy. It's a mechanical process. Your action creates a direct and proportional consequence for you. What you put out into the universe comes right back at you, precisely. At the end of the day, this is the fundamental rule of the cosmos, according to the text. The greatest creator stays impartial. The universe simply reflects our actions back to us, giving us exactly what our actions have earned, no more, no less. And the text applies this law of attainment to literally every part of life. To get a specific result, you have to fully commit to the mindset and the actions it requires. You can't, for example, try to get rich while also trying to be totally selfless. You can't seek enlightenment while being cruel. You get what you align your entire being towards. You just can't have it both ways. All right, so if the creator is impartial and just lets these cosmic laws run the show, is any kind of direct connection even possible?
Our final section explores how the text says we can actually bridge that enormous gap.
The text presents us with this really cool, kind of mind-bending paradox. Physically, yeah, we are separated from the Creator by an unimaginable cosmic distance. But spiritually, there's no distance at all. We are part of the same whole, like a finger is part of a body. It's distinct, for sure, but it's still completely connected to the brain. The key concept here is spiritual resonance. Think of it like a radio signal. The Creator is always broadcasting. The problem isn't the broadcast. It's on our end. If our soul, our receiver, is full of static and tuned to the wrong frequency, we're just never going to hear the message that's always there. So how do we tune our receiver? How do we get on the right frequency? Well, the text offers two main methods. The first is meditation. That's the inward journey to quiet all the noise and just connect. The second is prayer, which is an outward communication that it says has to follow a very specific structure. And these instructions are precise. Prayer, in this view, is not about asking for a new car or to win the lottery. In fact, the text says that's tuning into the devil's frequency. Instead, it's all about gratitude, praise, repentance, and asking for guidance to follow the right path, and it all has to be done in the name of humanity's designated Father. And that brings us to our final thought for today. If this worldview we've been exploring is correct, then our current life, everything about it is the direct result of our past choices and our past actions. It's a system of perfect, inescapable accountability, which leaves us with a pretty powerful, maybe even a little uncomfortable question to think about. What signal are your actions sending out into the universe? What are you really asking for?